Kling AI have released some really cool features, like the new AI Virtual Try-On, which allows you to try on any outfit with one click. I'll be pushing it to its limits, with some surprising results. And Kling 1.5 Professional Mode now supports start and end frames, which we will also cover, plus much more. Okay, let's get into it. Before we get into it, I just want to let you know you can set up a free account and test this out. Otherwise, they do have quite a range of subscriptions to go for, so it's best to check out the free one and then decide to upgrade if you want to. So first off, come to AI Images, and then click on AI Virtual Try-On. It's great as they do give you some templates to use if you don't have any images yourself. I will show you how to create your own clothing soon, and I'll also be testing images of myself to use as my own model. So feel free to click on any of these, and as you can see, it will analyze the clothing image and tell you if it's a top, a bottom, or a dress suit. So if we come to this one, you'll see it's got the bottom option, and then this one here is a dress suit, so it's combined. Now this is the single garment option, but you can choose to upload a top and bottoms separately. But to start off, let's try the single garment. So I'll choose this dress, and here are the custom models that they've got in here. So let's try this first model. I'll choose 2 different outputs and click generate. So here are the results, and they look pretty good to be honest. It's kept the design very similar to the original garment image. Now from here you can choose to upscale the image, and what's really cool is you can bring it to life with AI video. But before we get to that, let's just test out the multiple garments. So I'll try that top, and I'll try these bottoms, and I'll choose a different model. And it's added in the clothes perfectly. It's even added a white t-shirt underneath the sweater. And as you can see, the pants look exactly the same as the image, which is pretty awesome. The only problem is sometimes the image is not the highest quality. As you can see with the hands, they're not the best looking, and it's even got this weird little purple thing there. It's not the end of the world, but it's just something that I've noticed while using this tool. Now let's have a look at turning this model into a video. So you just have to click bring to life, and then it will bring it into the image to video section. And it's already added in a prompt of a model turning around to show the outfit. So I'll just keep it blank for now. I've got professional mode on, 5 seconds, and you can even add camera control, but just for this one, I'll leave it blank. And the video looks great. She's doing a turnaround like the prompt said, and the dress stays consistent all the way through. Now it is a little short, so I'll do a 10-second version as well, and we'll see how that looks. So here is the 10-second version, and it looks great. Like the 5-second one, it's kept the consistency all the way through the video, which is very impressive. And the model is moving in a realistic way. Now let's have a look at using your own custom model images and your own custom clothing images. Before we get into it, Kling do say that there are some guidelines to follow to get the best results. For the product photos, you want to make sure that the clothing item is on its own with a blank background. So you don't want a model wearing the top, and you don't want anything too distracting in the background. If you have found some clothing that you do like, but there's someone wearing it, you can always try cut the clothing out and then put it on a separate document and see if that works. To get a good model shot, they say to be facing the camera with a kind of simple background and good lighting, and not to have multiple people in the shot. So first, I'll show you how you can find model images online. One of the methods that I've used is to use an AI image generator, for example, Midjourney. So these are some images that I've created in Midjourney, and I gave it the prompt of a model wearing simple t-shirt and trousers walking down the catwalk runway. And any of these images could be used in Kling. The other method is to use stock image websites. I've been using the website Pixabay, and I found some royalty-free images of models, which I'll use in Kling. Or you can do what I did and take photos of yourself to try on different outfits. I have taken loads of photos in different poses just to see how far I could push the limits with this try-on feature, which we'll get into shortly. Now you want to look at finding the different outfits. Now the great thing about this feature is that it's a great way to try on different clothing that you want to buy yourself but don't know what it will look like. So for example, I found some clothes that I like on this website. So what you have to do is just save that image, and then you can take it into Kling and use it on your model of choice. And it's a great way to see how you would look in that clothing. You don't have to go to the store and try it on yourself. I've also created a free PDF for you to download, which contains loads of different images of clothing, so feel free to grab them in the link down below. Now, if you want to make custom clothing, then there are different ways that you can do it. You can do it the simple way like I did here and actually draw your design. I know my design is very simple, but I just wanted to do it as a proof of concept. And I wanted to see how well Kling would pick up on the details. And it's actually done a really good job. You can even see the texture of the colored pencil on the design, which is very impressive. And I even made a really creepy video of me wearing the shirt. I don't think I'll be mass producing this design, but it's still interesting to try out. The other way to make custom designs is using an AI image generator. Now for this example, I'm using Midjourney, and a great way to get loads of ideas is to use their explore page. So here I've just typed in jacket design, and it gives me hundreds of different types of jackets. These are all images that people have generated, and you can use them yourself as reference, or you can download the images. So it's a great way to find loads of different styles and designs to use, and just to get inspiration. So I'm going to pick one of these and I'll see what I look like in it. So I've gone for this jacket design, it's got that hand-drawn look to it, and I'll use this image of myself, and let's check out the results. I am blown away by how this looks. The really interesting thing is that on the original image that I took, my hands are on my hips. But the image that Kling has generated has put my hands in the pockets of the jacket, which looks extremely natural. It's a really nice touch. And here's another pose of me wearing the jacket. It's done a really good job at making sure that there is a t-shirt underneath the jacket and has realistic shadowing. As you can see from the back arm of mine, which is further back, it's a bit more in shadow, and it's got the shadow from the jacket onto the shirt. It just helps sell that realism. And here is another pose. But for some reason it's added in this weird object in between my hand and my body. Not sure what it is, but I'm sure I could use generative fill to get rid of that. And here's another pose that looks amazing. Now for this one, I went against the guidelines of Kling and used my hand to obscure some of my body, as you can see, and it still worked really well. So you can try different poses that Kling say not to use, and it will work. Maybe not all the time, but in this case, it did a great job. One of my favorite things to do with this feature is to create outfits from my favorite characters. So this allows you to cosplay without making the costume yourself. So I went into Midjourney and I created some iconic outfits. As you can see here, I've generated an outfit which is resembling Link's outfit from the Legend of Zelda games. Now it does have a cartoony look to it, but it doesn't matter. And when I pair it with one of my poses, I get these results. And they look amazing. I'm just really impressed with how they've come out. It's managed to get all the small details, and I can live out my fantasy of looking like Link. And here's a few more outfits I've created from beloved characters. So I created some Spider-Man outfits, and I've got the iconic looking suit from the Joker films. And here's a quick look at the outfits on some of the models as well. And as you can see, they look great. Then I wanted to take things to the next step. So I've got this pose of me in the Link outfit, and I'm in a sword holding pose, but there's no sword in my hand. So I took the image and I edited a sword into my hands, and then I generated some scenery in Midjourney and placed it behind me. I then ran this through image to video in Kling, and I got this result, which I think looks incredible. It's added some subtle movement and makes me feel like I'm inside of that world. This is a great method from going from an image of yourself to then creating the costume that you want, and then create the location, put them together, and you can put yourself inside of that world. It's pretty awesome. I also did the same for the Joker outfit. So I ended up doing a full body pose from this classic scene in the Joker film where he's dancing on the stairs, and then I added that pose with this costume inside of Kling, and it gave me this result, which I think did an amazing job. And then I edited myself into that image on the stairs, and I think it looks great. And I made a little video, While the video doesn't look perfect, it's still fun to recreate some of your favorite movie moments. Now here's a tip if you're using clothing with words or fine details in it. Make sure to use closer shots of the model. As you can see here, I've used a sports jersey and the text looks great on the model. But then if we use it on the model that is further away, you can see the text doesn't make sense and has lost a lot of quality. So make sure to do closer shots if you're using text in your design. And make sure to experiment with different visual styles, as sometimes they do come across in the final product. So as you can see here, I've got this hand-drawn illustration of a costume. And when it's put onto the model, it looks exactly like the drawing, which is a really interesting style. And I found another cool thing you can do. So I generated this t-shirt with flames on it, and then when I took it to image to video, I said the t-shirt is on fire with smoke coming out of it. And amazingly, it's animated the fire on the t-shirt and added some smoke coming out. This might not work all the time, but it's just a really cool element you can do. And here's another example. I've got this jacket with neon lights all over it, and I wanted the lights to be animated. And while it's very subtle, you can see there is slight movement within the jacket. So make sure to experiment with these kind of effects. Another thing you can play around with is using the motion brush tool. So as you can see with this example, you just brush in the area that you want to move, and then draw the arrow in the direction that you want it to move. And it's done a pretty good job. As you can see, my arms start lifting, and amazingly the jacket opens up in a realistic way. Now it didn't move my legs, but you could always just redo it. Now let's have a look at the new feature of adding start and end frames in the 1.5 professional mode. So I've got a start frame of this model, and I'll put an end frame of a different model with a different outfit. And let's see what it does. And it's looking pretty good. We've got the models coming down, and then the other model appears from behind. So it does a pretty good job at transitioning in between the frames. And here is another version. So she's walking down a bit slower this time, and it's the same model that transitions, and that looks pretty cool actually. So make sure to have a play around with the start and end frames to create some really unique looking shots. Okay, so that's the end of the video, and I hope you can see how much fun it is to be able to wear whatever costume you want. If you have any tips or tricks on how to get the most out of this, please leave your comments down below. Remember to grab the free PDF down below, which contains loads of different outfits. If you could like and subscribe to this channel, that would be awesome. And if you'd like to check out any of our other videos, feel free to click the image you can see on screen. Thanks for watching.